Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James, and today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How are you, mate?
Yeah, that's much better.
Much better.
That intro, much better.
Second take. Initially, we had Jess's name up the top from the last of our E3 things. We also still had the E3 thing down the bottom there. I don't know, it was right there in front of my face and I just wasn't noticing shit, so I don't know. It was pretty dumb. We're Damo-less this week. As Damo alluded to last week, he's moving house. We can't even make up bullshit stories about the whole thing because he just came clean in advance. Clearly part of his tactic.
I think we did acknowledge Damo. We haven't acknowledged Damo this time because last time it was just you and me. We just completely forgot about him for the entire episode. We just talked like he just wasn't here. It was like carried on as usual.
Yeah, I think it was afterwards. Like, wait, did we talk about Damo at all? No.
It's like, oh wait, Damo wasn't here. Like, oh yeah. Like, oh well.
Sorry, Damo, if you're watching / listening, we love you, mate. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Once your trip over the Alps has ended, I don't know, just some story that's not him moving house.
Let's say, is this a Lord of the Rings reference?
It is now. So it's patched updates time. At the end of last week, we got Damo to quickly shout out what he'd been playing. But since he's not around this week, it's the two of us to discuss all the games we've been playing over the course of the last month. And Matto, well, I've got to throw to someone, so it's got to be you.
Or Jess.
Well, I could throw to Jess. Jess is, maybe we'll get her on a patched episode at some point.
Jess isn't here, but as going off my last month's patched update things, I was playing the first Mass Effect.
Nice.
And I said I only had I got up to the Saren battle, I lost audio and all that stuff. Then
you lost audio
in the battle. It was a weird thing.
Oh, yeah, just the game glitched out shooting. On you.
Yeah, the game just lost audio for no reason.
Nah.
And then I killed Saren, and then it just went blank. Didn't go to the cutscene or anything. It just went blank. But
yeah, right.
Lucky for me, I saved just before the encounter with Sarah, so
reload the save and back in.
Nothing. Yep, we're back in. 10 minutes later, game finished.
And you had audio, and you had a cutscene, and all the stuff.
Had audio, had a cutscene. Yeah, even had credits at the end.
Nice.
So that was a win. Then that finished. I thought, what game should I play?
You're playing it on Xbox, right?
Yes.
On your Series X.
On the mini fridge.
Yes, nice. Can't wait to get a real mini fridge.
And then, yes, the best thing to come out of E3 was a non-related game thing.
Was a meme come to life.
Yes, they really outdone themselves with the whole gameplay thing.
It's going to leave... What did they say in the trailer? It's going to leave the competition in the cold. Like, they were getting real edgy.
They're just making fun of themselves now. Just people can't do anything. But this isn't about E3 or Xbox. But on my next game, I thought, of all the games I have, what should I play next after Mass Effect? I decided to play Mass Effect 2.
Nice, of course. I actually took a moment to think about that, and it was a really stupid decision on my part.
I thought, just go fresh out of the blocks and just play it. And play through it, and my timer says I finished it in 30 minutes because for some weird glitch reason, if you resume, I don't know if you've played it or not.
No, I haven't tried on the collection yet.
With your collection, you got your 3 games, download whatever, and then you got a resume button, so you don't have to go into the game then resume there. You just resume from there.
Yeah.
But if you resume with Mass Effect 2 from your selection, it's it's game time played counter goes back to 0 when you save it. It's all over the place. But if you go into the game, then select it from there, then it's fine. But I didn't really care about times because I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I don't need to know how long I've been playing it for. It looks better if I played it for 30 minutes. Speed run, as David would say.
Yeah, exactly. You can screenshot that and throw that up on the internet and say, look, I smashed Mass Effect 2 in 30 minutes. Beat that.
And then everyone there go, oh, no, it's a glitch. You're like, damn it. They're on to me.
No, that's pretty good. No, it was legit. I swear it was legit.
Watch. Then play through all that, finished it, and yet again.
3?
No, whoa.
Okay. Oh, hang on. We've got to talk about the suicide mission.
They all survived again.
Okay, good.
No, there is no decision. It's always save all.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know. Because if you go to Mass Effect 3, I'm just scared that there'll just be no story because all your characters, your sidekicks, are dead.
I haven't really heard of any stories of anyone getting to, like, going to play Mass Effect 3, and I mean, like, I'm assuming Shepard probably gets rebuilt again by Cerberus, but otherwise, like, everyone else is dead.
So what happens with the genophage? Who goes up to the tower?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who gets stabbed by that Cerberus man? No one knows. I don't want to know.
I don't think anyone's whiffed that badly on Mass Effect 2 that they've then gone into Mass Effect 3 with everyone dead.
Yeah, and this time around with Mass Effect 2, I played the DLC as well, which
nice.
the rest of the DLC. I know EA back then gave out some free DLC. It was rubbish. It's just where you flew around the bloody little jet thing. I don't know what it's called, Firewalker or something.
No, I can't remember. Very exciting. It's been too long.
I know. You don't want to remember. It's not that exciting, but the other DLC for it was quite good. I was
like share the Lair of the Shadow Broker and
the Shadow Broker and Overlord.
Yeah,
I think it was Overlord.
And wasn't there like Arrival as well, which is the one that kind of bridges Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, which is a little bit more relaxed, but
it's the Arrival one.
I think there was one more in the middle there. I'll have to try and Google it while we're chatting here, but
I can't remember it. I did play it. I can't even remember. Maybe because I just didn't look at titles for Arrival. Unless it was like the crashing of the Normandy. That was
so there was
boring.
Cerberus Network. DLC there's Normandy crash site. Wait, no, that's
done that.
Zaid, the Prince of Revenge, Cerberus weapon and armor pack. Okay, sure, whatever. Firewalker, alternate appearance, Kasumi, stolen memory. Overlord is the one you mentioned. There's a whole bunch. A Lair of the Shadow Broker, Mass Effect Genesis. That's just a comic. Yeah, Arrival. Which,
that was a good comic. At the start,
there's one assignment, one temporary squad mate, like one location, 3 upgrades, 3 achievements / trophies. Like but I think if I remember, it was basically like a thing that bridged Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3. Oh, I haven't got
that. That's my memory of the whole thing. Because keep in mind, like Mass Effect 2 came out early 2010. This DLC actually came out a whole year later. After they'd announced Mass Effect 3 at that point.
Oh, well, there you go. Then finished that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great game. Still a 10 out of 10 or whatever. And then I thought, after that, I'm going to play a game that's slightly disappointing.
Oddie.
Which is Mass Effect 3.
Oh. Have you finished Mass Effect 3?
I'm close to finishing Mass Effect 3. I'm sort of at the end of it. What would you say? I'm hunting Cerberus now. That's how close I am, which is somewhere near the end of the game.
So what about the global readiness thing? The thing that you required the app and to spend a bunch of time in multiplayer before. How do you get that readiness up now? Since there's no, like, the app doesn't exist and the multiplayer is not a thing.
I don't know.
Are you at like 100% or something, or?
I don't know. What is 100%?
Because
there's no percentage thing to it. It's just
maybe they've just completely scrapped the whole thing. I can't remember exactly.
I do remember the percentage thing. I think.
Yeah, you had to, and you built up through. There was like in-game actions, but there was also multiplayer and also a mobile app that you would kind of like, you'd send your ships out in different directions to do.
Yeah, you just sort of triggered my memory there, just like Damo with his sniper rifle reference last month.
Yeah,
there is no percentage as I'm aware of. It's just a little line with your minimum, and if you get past there, then I don't know what happens after that.
Because when I played Mass Effect 3 the first time, like there was no way I was going to settle for anything less than 100% because I wanted everyone, like every single possible person that goes out there with me to survive. And so I got to 100% and that's exactly what happened. But
we all know the ending to that.
Well, yeah, we know how things ended at that point.
I'm coming close to it.
The most successful I could possibly be, I was. So, I don't know.
And it still didn't matter. And then also did the DLC for that as well, which was just, there was a party, and that Prothean, who is by far the worst character I've ever met.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I mean, there was a lot of controversy about the whole thing because they tucked a kind of important. in the lore of the franchise, like Prothean's obviously super, super important, and they just hid that behind that character behind DLC. But as you said, he wasn't actually that interesting or that fascinating.
It's like he's just the biggest dick. He
Yeah.
made Ash look normal.
Yeah, and Ash
He
is
was probably more racist than her.
yeah.
And who would have thought that would happen?
Now we also need to talk about: are you playing male ship or fem ship?
Femship.
And how's the sex life going?
Okay, just as harsh as this is to
Garrus?
say, no, not Garrus. The only reason I went female ship, so I don't feel bad for headbutting the news reporter.
Yeah, righto.
That's the only reason I went femship all those years ago, because I did male ship and headbutted there. I thought, I feel really bad. I gotta go back to my last save point, which was about 5 hours beforehand. And then from there, I just went femship, because even if I just punch people in their face, I don't feel so bad.
No guilt.
For some reason. No guilt.
Oh.
Because that bloody news reporter and just Conrad.
Yeah, right. I can appreciate all that. I'll let you off the hook. That's fair. We don't want to be violent or we don't want to be seeing men punch or headbutt women. So I guess if it's another woman doing it, it's slightly more palatable. So I guess there's your rationale. It works.
But headbutting the Krogan though, perfectly fine.
Well, it doesn't end well for you.
Game.
But
oh well.
Sore head. But, yeah.
Sore head. But then after that, because I had my Xbox Series X, I thought just for a little bit I wanted to play a first party game for the Xbox. And I thought out of all the first party games, it wasn't Halo. It was a game. Well, it does have one. No, I don't know why they shortened the name for. It's just I laugh at it.
Oh yeah.
Gears 5. I mean, it's really difficult to say those two syllables of war. War. Real difficult. I just laughed at it.
There's got to be data on it, and I mean, I understand that like lots of people would say Gears so that it wasn't confused with God of War
Gears.
or anything like that, but to then straight up change the name of the franchise based on the fact that people say Gears to separate it from God of War doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me. The game's amazing, and I'm sure you're probably finding the same thing, but the name doesn't make sense. But what do you think about the game?
So, I say within the first 30 minutes of the game was far more interesting than 4.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I hated about 4 was that the game was 25 years after 3, and everything just looked the same.
Yeah, like what have you people been doing?
And then you had all those characters from 1 to 3, barely saw him. It was just James, who was a bit boring. Dell's okay, but not that exciting. And Kate, who was probably the more interesting person out of that trio.
And she becomes way more interesting in 5.
Yes, and then you come to 5. First scene you come to. Come down the helicopter. What do you see? Clean water and green plants. There's way more colour in. I thought, so this is what 25 years later looks like. I thought. Then you start to see like actual communities, big towns. And you see, this is what they should have done in 4. It's like, this is way more exciting. And also
they're not just little shanty
bringing
outposts. Like they're proper, the cities that have kind of been rebuilt. And then obviously, there's the actual kind of native environment stuff that you see, and they actually take you through a bunch of really diverse sort of. I mean, they're biomes. Like there's kind of the sandy one, there's the ice region, and then there's kind of the foresty area that you just outlined. Like they kind of hit on some tropes, but they look amazing.
And then also they brought the old characters back in. You don't play them, that's fine. But you had Phoenix with you, Marcus with you, then Cole's with you for a little bit. There's always old Bird or Bard, whatever his name is. You always hear him. Bad, always hear him.
I mean, they do feature in the last one, but not in the same way that they do in 5.
Yeah, no, they only featured like Marcus was, but
Marcus was
Cole
important.
Cole and Baird, you only saw him at the end.
Yeah,
that was it. But it's just, so far I'm only up to the snow region, so I'm not that a little bit. I don't know if you say halfway or midway. I don't know where you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's kind of in that halfway sort of area.
I mean, I'm sort of into the second part of the. Yeah, sort of into that.
I mean, they break it into the chapters. What chapter?
Yeah, sort of.
What act? Sorry, are you up to?
I think 3. I think it's when you go back
okay,
into
so
that
you're halfway.
open world area. That
Yeah.
open world area, which is something else that's actually different. It's just you can actually have a bit of a free room.
Yeah. Have you
It's
gotten
good.
to that kind of? It's like that really red sandy sort of area. Like, and when I say red sand, I'm talking like Last Jedi sort of red sand. Like really, really
No,
striking.
I think I might have got up to that part. I just started. They went to the desert. That was the
Yeah,
first
that'd be it.
where you're with Bird or Bird, whatever his name is, and one of the companions from Gears of War Judgment, which I picked up straight away
Yeah.
from. I was like, wow, they're just bringing the whole gang back. Wow.
It was nice for him to throw a bone towards Judgment because it does tend to get kicked to the curb a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not that bad a game. Like, it's all right.
Not that bad. It's a prequel. I mean,
Yeah.
don't expect too much from a prequel. It's a
Yeah.
Gears of War game. It works. It's the same as all the other ones. It's just a prequel.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I'm
just
with
stuff
you.
you already know. It's like, of course, you got to lower your expectations for prequels. It's don't get excited. And then finally, my last game. Well, I was a bit excited for it when it first got announced. Got it on, well, last Friday. That was Mario Golf Super
yeah.
Rush.
Tell me about it because I haven't gone near it. And the reviews are, well, as of the time that we're recording this, Matt's review hasn't gone up on the website because Nintendo Australia were a little bit cautious about sending codes out. And I've seen his review, and 58 on Metacritic's not going to be from our side doesn't necessarily reflect all that well on the game.
Would it get higher if they got given a golf ball?
It would get higher if there was a little bit more game in the game, from what I'm gathering. Like, it's pretty light on for content.
Well, the only thing I cared about for Mario Golf is that you could just go to a course and just hit the ball. That's all I cared about. Didn't want any gimmicky crap.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. But I think that's where the problem is. I don't know what's happened with Nintendo, like early 64 GameCube days, where you used to do a course, and if you got like a high score, whatever, it would unlock another course, like Mario Kart, for instance.
Yeah.
Like if you came first in
It'd unlock
3
the next
cups
cup.
or whatever,
Yeah.
it would unlock the next cup. And I think that's the problem, because they seem to be more focused on your stupid me things, which I didn't realize I had until I actually went to the story mode or whatever, and they said, "Here's your character." Like, his name's Bob, which I found out. Which I looked at.
That sounds
going,
like something you do.
Yeah, that's why straight away I was like, yeah. Go by the look of it, I thought, yeah, that's somebody I created. Don't know when, don't care when, because I don't care about those me things, because that was the old Wii days, and I haven't cared about it since. But I think the gameplay in general I like, but I think it's just everything else about it, I think, which is what everyone's criticizing about.
Yeah.
I can
Is
understand.
this just getting in its own way? With all the extra stuff? The unnecessary filler fat shit?
I'd say so, because there's this sort of game modes that I don't care about. Like you got your timer. You have to do the whole course in like 30 minutes or something. I thought, I don't care about that. I just want to just hit a ball.
Swing the ball.
That's all I want to do. Swing the ball, put it in the hole, make it go home.
Done.
That's all I care about. But
You too good for your home?
too
Answer
good for
me.
the home. But I think they sort of missed the point on that, because I think the other problem is too, there's just lack of courses. There's only like 5 or 6 courses.
Yeah, there's 6.
to choose from.
Like, Matt, we got sent the code on a Thursday. I forwarded it on to Matt to do the review for us an hour or so later. Like, he had it downloaded early afternoon, and by about 6 or 7 o'clock that night, he goes, "I'm already up to like course 4 out of the 6. I could possibly still get the review done for launch day." I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. He didn't in the end. He went and explored a lot of the online and all the other sorts of features, and you'll see the review is now up on the website, but it didn't quite hit in time for launch day. But yeah, like when he said that, I'm like, oh shit, there's not a lot a lot here. And I mean, you don't expect a crazy amount from a golf game, but that does seem pretty light.
It does. It's just one of those questions I scratch my head at, and like your selection of golfers. I don't know if there's any unlockable characters or not. I don't know because it doesn't really explain it too well.
Yeah.
I don't even know there's like a championship round or whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's not very clear.
That's a bit of a worry. Do you reckon they just rushed it out because, I mean, obviously COVID's kind of been a bit of a pain in the ass for a lot of people. And I mean, I think most of us and possibly even Nintendo expected they'd have Breath of the Wild 2 out this year, and they might have had, a few other things might have been up their sleeves for 2021 that they've got somewhere through the course of last year, they've gone, oh shit, like, okay, Zelda's sliding and maybe some other things are sliding. Let's get something made in kind of short time, something that's easy for us to do. We can just lift the mechanics from the 3DS game and, use our new assets from other games, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a golf game.
Yeah, it's what it feels like. It really does.
It's a bit of a shame.
What you would call a swing and a miss.
Oh, very nice.
But I still enjoy the normal parts of it, which is just hitting a ball under par. Don't care about your time limit.
Don't care about this running between courses, between holes.
Yeah. Don't care about that. Unless it's if you're playing with other people and you just want to knock them in the water. But other than that, I'll just be happy just to swing my ball.
That's
win
fair.
The club hit, and that's it.
I can get around that. I mean,
and I'm not really entirely sure what I'm supposed to do with this golf ball.
Oh, did you get the golf ball from JB?
Yeah, it was the pre-order. I didn't even realize I had it. I was like, what's this thing? I just opened it up and gone, what the hell am I about to do with this?
You go down to a golf course and you hit it, and it'll land in the water and you never see it again, and you go, well, shit, that was a pre-order incentive down the tube.
Worth it.
Yeah. Well,
and that is me done.
Yeah, it's the sort of game I think I might be keen to get into if it goes a bit cheaper, but also it's a Nintendo game, so it's never going to get cheaper. So I'll probably never play Super Rush.
Only if you got like all your coins from the Nintendo store, or it's an Amazon Prime sale. That's it.
Yeah,
other
they
than
might
that,
be close to
don't
consider.
see it dropping.
Well, we'll see what happens in that space.
Or unless someone just throws it out their car window.
Oh yeah, it falls off the back of a truck or something like that.
Just like all that beer.
Yeah.
That once fell on the highway. It's a good story, that one.
It's a sad story for a lot of people.
For some alcoholics, yes, it's a very sad story. For other people, they just look at it and go,
yeah, that's kind of funny.
That could be, that's the most Australian thing you can look at. Truck crash full of beer.
I mean, and then a whole bunch of bogans running out there with straws trying to slurp it all up.
Buckets of straws, you think about it. Oh, what was that?
Oh no, sorry, that was me about to jump across to mine, and then and then I realised you were still going. So with my games, I mean, last time we recorded, I was in that weird period where I was playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but I couldn't say I was playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So I probably don't need to go into that much depth at this point because everyone has had a say on the game, including myself. The review's up on the website, so go check that out. But the game is amazing. Looks incredible. I spent so much time, more so than any other game, and part of it was for the review, but also part of it was just because the game's stunning. I was just taking screenshots. I was using the photo mode all the time, especially in some of the cutscenes. They look unbelievable. And at the time that I was playing it, like they hadn't even released the performance with ray tracing mode. Like that was a day one patch thing. And it still looked amazing. So it looks even better since I actually played it. And that's all in the space of less than a month. But the game's awesome. Definitely one of the best games of the year so far. And I mean, depending on what does or doesn't come out late in the year, it could be right up there as a game of the year contender. As far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Even watching it online, I just looked and went, "That looks pretty damn good."
Yeah,
it looks.
Yeah, and you're watching like compressed videos and all that sort of stuff on YouTube, and so you're not even seeing like the raw thing, and yet it still looks amazing. So
even just how it moves, it's just.
Yeah,
it's good. It looks good.
I've also used the opportunity because it's been a little bit quieter for the most part. I'm now kind of busy with games, some of which I can talk about, some that I can't. But in kind of a quiet patch, I was going back and playing a couple little indies that I either never played before or wanted to get back to. So I went and replayed the original SteamWorld Dig. I played that on the Vita back in the day. I was just kind of scrolling through my games on the PS4 and saw it sitting there and thought I'll give it another go, and realised on the PS4 that's also going to give me a new trophy list. So I figured, yeah, sure, why not? I'll play it again. And a game that I like, it'll take me like 5 or 6 hours to get through it, and I'll ping a whole bunch of trophies at the same time. Why not? I'll give it a go.
Did you platinum Ratchet and Clank?
I did platinum Ratchet and Clank. I did have it platinumed before
just
the game
like
came out.
Else.
So,
just like everyone else.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy platinum. For the most part, I platinumed it on the 2nd of June. The game came out on the 10th. So
Wow, it came out that early for you?
I had the review code for 3 weeks before the game came out or something like that, which was kind of nice.
I think that's just an ego saying,
flex.
It's like, yeah, wow, this little head wobble going, well, our game's finished.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
It was a weird one. It was a weird one at work because I was trying to take advantage of every moment to try and play the game and keep progressing, so I could give myself lots of time for reviews and all that sort of stuff.
Ignore all those school kids.
That was kind of the issue. So like I'd go back to my desk at recess or lunchtime or whatever, and
just play your little controller.
I'd plug the PS5 into the monitor I've got on my desk, and then I'd look behind me and there's like students peering through the window. I'm like, shit, they can't know that I've got this game now. And so we've got like these giant bits of paper and we're just covering the glass up. Like there's all the staff understood my situation and totally like backing me in to look after me there, covering up the glass so that no one can actually peer in and see anything.
I'm surprised all those teachers weren't telling you off, like, stop playing games at school.
It's recess and lunch. Bite me.
Recess.
Yeah, not doing it during class time. But yeah, I went and replayed SteamWorld Dig. Finished that just the other night. Loved doing that. At the same time, I'd also gone back and played Severed on the Vita, which was a Drinkbox game. The guys who did or do Guacamelee 1 and 2, they're working on that.
Vita stuff. Is the Vita making a comeback?
Well, no, like I played SteamWorld Dig originally on the Vita years and years ago.
Oh, right.
I was playing the PS4 version of it recently, just kind of parked on the couch. Wasn't able to use the main TV, which had the PS5 attached to it, and I've just had the PS4 loaded up with indies and other kind of games that if I ever get a moment, I could just sit down and play. And so that's what I did with SteamWorld Dig. But in terms of the Vita, similar sort of logic. I was like, I don't really want to play a console game. I'll kick back here on the couch and kind of watch, I don't know, I think wife was watching Good Doctor or something like that. And like, I'm not overly interested in that, but I'll be in the room, so I'll play the Vita. And so I started playing Severed, which was
watching you on TV.
Yeah, my lookalike. So Severed comes from Drinkbox. They've worked on Guacamelee 1 and 2, Mutant Blobs. They were one of the big supporters of the Vita back in the day. And these days they've buddied up with Xbox on Nobody Saves the World, which is meant to be out in the next couple of months. It looks amazing, actually, from what I've seen. But I never actually played Severed. I wanted to for years, and it was just one of those things. I think it just came out at a bad time or whatever. So I went back and played it. The reason I'm drinking from my platinum glasses today is because I got the platinum on that one just earlier today. That's just a little bit of a...
What, is it like a grand final win or something? Yeah. I got a platinum.
One of those little, I don't know, superstition's not the right thing, because when it comes to a platinum, you just go and chase shit down. There's no luck involved, for the most part. But I drink a beer from my glass.
Having a Mayo jar 30,000 times.
Well, I had 2 beers from that day, because I obviously got it on the PS4 and the Vita. But Seven's amazing. Really love playing it. There was one kind of challenging part where it was clearly not balanced overly well. I was trawling through the internet to try and find people's advice and tips and whatever, and then just kind of got lucky this morning and broke through it. So as soon as I got that, okay, time to go end game now. I'll finish this up and get the platinum at the same time. So I did that. Another game I've been playing, it's been out for a couple weeks, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So the DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like a 4 or 5 hour. The door looks amazing. The door looks great. There's some other things that don't look so good. There's a couple rough other edges, even despite the fact it's a PS5 game.
They've had to sacrifice the rest of the game.
There was like a stereo that I noticed. Like I went to a shop and like usual shop things, and menu opens up and you buy your potions or whatever the case is. But then like as I just clicked out of that, and it's just kind of sitting in that screen that says, do you want to buy, do you want to sell, do you want to exit? I got distracted by something must have happened family related around the house, so I kind of just left it for a moment. I came back and I sat down and just kind of getting myself in the zone again. I'm just kind of looking around at what I was doing, and I'm in that screen and I'm like, what the fuck's this stereo? Like it's just one color. There's like a little dial on it. It's just this orange dot. I'm like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? Like there's some really lazy textures and shit in the game, but I don't know. Like the game itself though is amazing. Playing as Yuffie, who was kind of a nothing character in the original version, like the original game back in the 90s.
It's a lot of that white beanie thing.
Yeah, she gets rid of the white beanie pretty quickly, or the white kind of cloak hood thing pretty quickly. But yeah, she was kind of a side nothing character. You didn't even have to necessarily bring her into the party in the original Final Fantasy VII. If you didn't want to, or just if circumstances played out that way. But they've kind of made her feel essential, which was kind of cool. Her story kind of runs in parallel to the story of the main game. We're kind of seeing a few different things that happened from her perspective. Because in the original game, she doesn't even feature in this part of the game. She doesn't appear till well afterwards. So it's kind of interesting in that sense to kind of see what she was up to at that time. And then I've got about an hour to go left in it. I was hoping to fit it in tonight, but kids didn't quite go to bed as quickly as I'd hoped tonight, and so we're recording before I finished it. But
those damn kids.
Yeah, exactly, kids getting in the way of my Final Fantasy time. So there's that. Beyond that, there's a couple there's one game that I can't talk about. We discussed it beforehand. If you're listening to the show, watching the show on Tuesday, if you tune into the Player 2 website, literally tomorrow, Wednesday at 1 a.m., there will be a written piece that Jess has done and a Player 2 plays that I've done for a game that Matto, you and I discussed. I'll kind of say it without saying it. You and I were both very big on this game from E3. So if you followed the E3 content, whether it's our patched episode or the episode that you and I did about a certain press conference at E3, you'll probably be able to work out what game it is, but I can't officially say what it is. So sucked in, everyone.
Outer Worlds 2.
The Outer Worlds 2. We got our hands on the Outer Worlds 2 really, really early.
The game with no content to show yet. We have
nothing. We don't even know what the protagonist looks like, but I think the game's awesome from the time I've
a monster. And is that monster in the game?
Probably not.
I was just hoping you said no. It would have been happening.
No.
Good.
The other game that I can acknowledge that I'm playing is Monster Hunter Stories 2. Which is coming to Switch and PC. Yeah, I kept that one up my sleeve for the show.
Well played.
Yeah. We're still waiting on Nintendo to send some codes through for the Switch, which is where I'd much rather play the game. But
wait, you've been playing on PC?
But I am playing on PC.
What?
The hand you dealt.
I think it's just even more weird that it's the combination of PC and Nintendo Switch, which is just the strangest combination.
It is a weird pairing.
It's like both ends of the sort of
the graphical
spectrum.
Slider,
like Switch, the lowest. PC, the biggest.
And yet, and we didn't get sent and also, like I said, Nintendo codes haven't arrived, at least as of when we recorded this in Australia yet. I don't know if they've appeared elsewhere. But even a whole bunch of previews that went live overseas, which they went live before we received our code, so that's why there's nothing on the Player 2 website. They were all PC versions, so I'm guessing that like Capcom, who's handling things overseas, whereas it's Nintendo over here that handles the Switch version first and foremost. Weird local PR stuff.
There's not another CG project. Red.
Yeah, I think they just want. Well, no, but I don't think it's going to be an issue like that. I think it's just a case of the PC version is obviously going to look so much better. They'll want to make sure that the previews. It's an optics thing. Previews, as much as any journalists or whatever will sit back and say, oh yeah, it's we're discussing the game, we're critiquing or whatever. Really, it's just a PR blast for the games, and the developers and publishers are aware of that. So
I would have thought that the one thing someone would say, the graphics look nice, that's probably the worst thing you could say about a game, because the rest of the game's rubbish.
Yeah, so it's a weird one in that sense. I'm kind of glad I didn't have to preview it with a very short timeline in that space, but the game's out in a few weeks, so look forward to a review a bit closer to launch. As we've said, I am playing it on PC. I'm only an hour or two in. I've only had it for a couple of days, and with my current shed situation, I have to make sure the roller door is up so that the internet came through so I could download it. So that slowed things down. I'm getting a wired connection in here in like a week.
CSS.
So once my wired connection comes through, we're back in the game properly. But right now, it's a painful sort of situation to make stuff work. So the game doesn't require online. There's online components to the whole thing, and I'm just ignoring those when I'm playing at nighttime. But I'm only an hour or two in, so my opinions and thoughts are all pretty basic at this stage anyway, and there's not a hell of a lot I can say regardless. So look forward to a review up on the Player 2 website sometime soon. But otherwise, that's about it for me. What do you see yourself playing over the course of the next month? You're going to finish Mass Effect 3, obviously.
Mass Effect 3, which is not far off. Probably play a little bit more, then move on to Gears 5 after that. A little bit more Mario Golf, and maybe some Just Cause 4, just because I haven't played the PlayStation 4 for a while. And that was one of the PS Plus games from a while back. I thought, I want a nice relaxing game where I'll just blow stuff up and not care about the story. Just Cause is
that's a good way to go.
Game for that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I said, I'm playing Monster Hunter, so that's going to keep me busy. I'll finish off Intergrade tonight, probably. But I don't really know what I'm going to be playing outside of that. I think it could be one of those cases where I go back to the PS4 and some indies, and I'll just keep going. I loaded up.
Vita.
Yeah,
back to the Vita.
The Vita might get a bit of love as well. I'm on school holidays at the moment, so there's a good opportunity here to knock out some games. I've got a little bit of real work to do, but
real work,
like my paid employment. Sorry, everyone, you're not giving us enough money at Player 2 yet. When I say everyone, I mean advertisers.
Watch our videos now.
Yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Please. I'm dying of hunger.
Please. Me want money now.
Yeah.
Thank
Patreon.
you.
See, it's in the left corner there. Go for it. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really know beyond that. I think you're right, though. I'll dive into the Vita. I'll probably crack into some other indies. I was tempted by Scarlet Nexus that came out recently. I played the demo a little while back when it came to Xbox, and I was pretty impressed by the whole thing, but it's not a massive priority, so I might get to it when I get to it, or if it gets a bit cheaper, I'll play it then. It's mostly a quiet period, and it looks like it will be for the majority of the next couple of months, which I really, really like. And everyone's talking about the back end of the year being crazy, and outside of a couple things like Halo and Guardians of the Galaxy, there's not a hell of a lot that's really speaking to me at the end of the year. I'm sure I've forgotten something.
Game there?
Horizon might drop in there.
Forza, yeah. Forgot about that.
I mean, I'm not a big racing guy. Like, I'll take Forza for a spin, I guess, but it's nothing. I'm not going to lose my mind over the whole thing. Horizon Forbidden West is obviously, like, if that does get a release date, that obviously becomes the big tentpole for me for the back end of the year. But it's all pretty quiet for now. And there's been some rumors, actually, and I don't know if you've seen them. There's been some rumors about a Ghost of Tsushima sequel coming out this year, like a Miles Morales style thing.
Jeez, that was quick.
Yeah, so not like a big core Ghost of Tsushima 2, but like a middle thing, a bit like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Miles Morales or Infamous First Light, those sort of things that are kind of these middle chapters. They're maybe like 5 or 6 hours long, as opposed to, I guess, what Ghost would be in like a 20, 30 hour thing.
I see.
Maybe this week we'll get some answers about that. It's still only a rumor at this point, but it does seem to be growing some legs. We'll see what happens. But like they could have a few cool things at the back end of the year. Most of us are waiting for that Halo release date. I'm sure it's going to be the 15th of November, because that's the 20-year anniversary to the date of the original Xbox and the original Halo. So that's got to be
smart.
I think it's the 15th or the 9th or something like that. Someone correct me in the comments with the anniversary date for Halo, but unless Matto's already on it. No. But yeah, it looks like it's quiet at the end of the year, so I'm kind of looking forward to opportunities to just keep going back and keep playing games that I missed or didn't get to finish or whatever the case is.
Honestly, yeah, it was actually Might put Monster Hunter Rise on that list too. I haven't played that for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been saying that the three of us, and I mean, it'll be a little bit longer now because Damo's sorting out his move at the moment, but three of us will have to jump in now that there's that 3.0 update. We'll have to get in there and try out some of these new monsters together.
Yeah, that really complex one that Damo was talking about that flies and jumps and...
Yeah, the one that's got the two Elder Dragons from the end that come together in one.
They got their Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart, Go Planet.
Sorry, audio listeners, there was a big fist pump there. And an almighty pregnant pause. Well, we'll wrap things up there at that point. Next week, who knows what we'll be doing next week? Will Damo be back? Will he have crossed the Alps in time? Who knows? Will he have successfully crossed the Alps?
Will he have successfully put the ring into the shadow, into Mount Doom?
Yeah.
We don't know.
I'm so glad that despite the fact that he's been totally upfront and honest about the whole thing and everyone already knows the truth, we've still gone off on our own tangent and made a story out of the whole thing.
He could have lied to us.
Taking the demo to Isengard. Isengard.
He might not be even moving. He might be over a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
With his companion.
So we'll wrap things up there. If you enjoyed this episode of Patched, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes more Patched, Player 2 plays, late game review, gamer school, and a whole bunch more. Visit the website, player2.net.au for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series, Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. High tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto?
At Jess Samet. No, it's not.
Also, I think it's Samet Jess or whatever. But yeah, go give Jess some love, everyone. But she's not on the show this week.
Not here. Or ever. She's never here.
She's never been on Patched. But there's always a time to fix that. I guess audio feed, she was on it recently when she did the E3 stuff. Because I dumped all those.
That wasn't patched.
It wasn't patched, but I put them all up on the... I used the audio feed for Patched, so thanks, audio listeners, for enjoying all those episodes from E3. Paul James Games for me.
Exactly from E3. Ooh, yeah. Right there.
And that's why we had the tech issues we had. Paul James Games for me. The website is player2au. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next week.